And welcome back to the week of What Ifs. And this What If comes to us from Shadow King. And that's the question is, what if Trunks and Goten have been born with a tail? Now, as far as we know, they were not born with tails. Goten was born with a tail. And it does make the question why Trunks wasn't. Because Gohan was, and he was a direct offspring of a pure-blood Saiyan. And Vegeta's a pure-blood Saiyan, and Trunks is a direct offspring. I mean, for all we know, Trunks was born, but they removed the tail. So, for all we know, they got rid of it. They decided to just do away with the tail early on, and it didn't grow back. But Goten, as far as we know, was not born with a tail. Again, being a direct relative of Saiyan. Again, maybe they got rid. Maybe Chi-Chi decided and Gohan decided we need to get rid of his tail real quick. But who knows? But let's assume they were born with a tail. Does this change things up drastically? Well, I would imagine there would be definitely instances where they have to avoid the full moon because they remember. But here's the thing: at this point, they know, particularly with like Vegeta and having experiences with the Great Apes and stuff like that. At least on some level, they know, so they would be avoiding the full moon until they felt they were ready to see the full moon. See, now removing the tail, I don't feel the tail adds a huge amount of power to a Saiyan, but I think it adds like if Goku had kept his tail. I imagine he might have an extra 50 or 100 on his power level by the time Raditz showed around. I think that's possible. There's no confirmation of that. I do believe you probably lose a little bit of your initial power when you lose your tail. Obviously, they compensate for it later on with training, but still. So I would think they would be a little stronger than what you see in the canon. So when we actually see Kid, Goten, and Trunks later on, they would be a little stronger, but that power would still be evened out. They'd be Super Saiyans. They could still go ape if they had to. And that's honestly the thing about this is there's ultimately nothing that really changes long term about this. Yeah, they can go into an ape form, but there's no. When you really watch the episode and read Dragon Ball Z, there's nothing that indicated any time where the moon was out during the story plot line, like night or anything was going on. So. I mean, like through the Buu saga, I can't recall any time there was night. So, and even then, if there's no guarantee it's a full moon, then you go over to Battle of Gods. There's not much going on there. Yeah, and let's be clear. While I'll give like someone like Goku the benefit of the doubt that he could possibly reach Super Saiyan 4 in canon if he had his tail. There's no way Trunks and Goten are reaching Super Saiyan 4. They're lucky to reach Super Saiyan as it was. They were beyond lucky they could go Super Saiyan 3 as Gotenks. But that people argue like Gotenks may have been stronger than Goku. It's like, yeah, but it took two characters to fuse together and then become Super Saiyan 3. There's a reason Goku was still more or less the strongest individual on the planet at that point. I wouldn't say he was beyond Gohan, though, to be fair. But we never saw Super Saiyan 3 Goku face off against Super Buu, so we have no idea how well he would have done. We only saw that briefly when he came back, and that was after he had already absorbed Gotenks and Piccolo. So he was well probably beyond Goku at that point. And he was already beyond Gohan. But we don't know how Goku would have handled Super Buu. I feel like Goku probably could have handled Super Buu, honestly. Because Kid Buu is stronger than Fat Buu, but not the strongest form of Majin Buu. I would argue Kid Buu's probably stronger than Super Buu as well, and Goku probably actually could have beaten Kid Buu if he had gone all out from the beginning. He even said that. He even said he probably could have beaten the Fat Buu too without too much difficulty, honestly. Anyway, I digress. So really, when you ask the question, what would happen if they had their tails? Nothing really changed when they had that. There might have been like one or two instances in their younger years where they did go into ape form, and you might even see Golden Uzaru at one point, but it really wouldn't matter much. They don't have the strength. They're too young and inexperienced to have the strength of character to go into Super Saiyan 4. Even though you can I could turn that into a different what if entirely. Like what if they had access to Super Saiyan 4? Like what if everyone, you get a Super Saiyan 4? Yeah, yo, Hercule, you get Super Saiyan 4 now. Come on. Super Saiyan 4 Satan! Super Satan 4! There you go. There you go. Anyone on DeviantArt, have at that. Or any artist who wants to draw a Super Saiyan 4 Satan, Hercule Satan, go ahead. It's on me, internet. So, Yeah, I'm just trying to rack my head around if there's anything that would have changed. And you know what? Honestly, what would have made it actually worse? They would have actually had a harder time against Super Boo. Super Boo had more intelligence, and he might have known to go for the tail. And on those kids, you bet your ass that tail would still be a weakness. They didn't evolve. There's no guarantee. There's nothing to say those kids would have evolved past the weakness of a tail. Granted, they're a lot stronger than say Nappa or Vegeta were, and they grew past it. But I don't know if it's about strength or if it's something else. Like hell, Bardock was stronger than Vegeta and Nappa, and I have no idea if he had a weakness in his tail. I don't think they ever showed that. Mostly because they kept their tails wrapped around their bodies. And I would imagine that Vegeta would at least teach Trunks to keep his tail wrapped around his body because you never know. And you know what? I'd actually think Vegeta would at least train Trunks to bypass his weakness in his tail. I don't believe Chi-Chi wouldn't have it, and Gohan wouldn't have knowledge about that because he lost his tail pretty early on. So yeah, I nothing really changes. Nothing changed. Again, I would argue they might be just a hint stronger. So when Super Boo ends up coming around and they go Super Saiyan 3, it's a tiny bit stronger. It doesn't really change the outcome of that fight because they're still arrogant little brats that end up, messing it up in the end. Use your baby, a little puppy. So ultimately, yeah, I gotta say nothing really changes. You maybe have a couple instances where they turn ape accidentally or something like that. They may be a little stronger, but they won't factor in against the fight with Beerus or the fight with Frieza. They don't participate in any of the tournament arcs in Super, be it the 6 or the Universal Tournament of Power. And they're not factoring the Goku Black arc. So ultimately, yeah. It doesn't change anything long term. There's like a few hiccups here and there, but yeah. But hey, what do you think? Do you think I'm completely off base? Maybe it changes everything. Everything was hinging on them having tails. Maybe that's the case. Or maybe I'm just full of crap. Or maybe I'm completely right and I am your saint and savior. Or maybe I'm just a guy making a video about Dragon Ball Z. Put it in the comments below, let me know. If you have ideas for who would win Star Wars, Super Hero, Magic, What If, anything you'd like us to review on the channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. There'll still be What Ifs throughout the remainder of the weekend. There'll be a box office on Sunday, and then next week is the week of the Who Would Win. So, yeah, and then I've gotten a lot better at doing it, particularly because my schedule's changed up. I can just do these during the day now and be like, right on. Before I had to do these, I had to pre-record these at night and be like, okay, upload that. Oh, I got a day off. Got to pre-record that one, and that one. And now I can just be like, because I've now switched it over to nights again, I'm like, I can sleep in and I still got time to do these during the day. It's kind of a win-win. And you know what? My day off is still it's still Thursday, so I can still go and check out movies. So I'm like, hey, it's a win-win. Yeah, but anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you folks next time.